Mahagatha, 100 Tales from the Puranas. Welcome, friends, to another episode. In the last episode, we learned how Brahma started creating the world. How was heaven and earth separated? How did Vishnu enter the golden egg? What were the four Vedas and what were the four troubles? So now, in this episode, we are going to hear where Vishnu kills Madhu and Kaitabha. Chapter number 2. Vishnu kills Madhu and Kaitabha. No sooner had Brahma brought the four Vedas than two creatures crawled out from the earwax of Vishnu. One of them began craving for honey to satiate his hunger, and so he got his name as Madhu. And the other brother resembled an insect or a kita and also became to know as Kaitabha. Unaware of where they were, they glanced around in an utter confusion. Feeling famished too, they searched for means of sustenance. But all they could see was infinite water surrounding them. Madhu and Kaitabha began feeding on this nourishing fluid and grew immensely mighty. As their bodies grew large, so did their heads, for they were now filled with arrogance, supremely confident that they were the masters of this realm. The creatures began exploring the cosmos. As they wandered, they came upon Brahma sitting atop his lotus. The brothers instantly confronted the creator. Who are you? How dare you occupy that floral seat that meant only for the exalted? They growled in fury. Brahma kept quiet, which further inflamed them. Either come down and accept us as your sovereign or prove your worth by defeating us in a combat. When the creator did not comply, Madhu and Kaitabha began shaking the lotus stem to topple him. Poor Brahma clung to the flower, but Veda slipped from his hands. Gliding down, they fell one after the other through the cracks between the petals. The brothers hid them underwater and began threatening to decimate everything that Brahma had brought into existence so far. Panicking, the creator now turned to Vishnu. O protector of the universe, I beseech you to become my aid. Are you not aware that I am no match for your creatures born even from your dirt? How can I carry out my appointed task of creation if you do not ensure my safety? Why must we draw a circle if the ends not meet? Do you hear me, Lord? Do you hear me? Alas, the preserver had entered Yoga Nidra, that dreamless state between being awake and sleep that made him oblivious everything. Brahma kept shrieking, but Vishnu barely stirred. Madhu and Kaitabha began cackling, but Vishnu remained impervious. Finding no other course, Creator invoked Nidra or sleep to awaken the god. O Nidra, it's by your power that Narayana has fell asleep. Pray, liberate him from your embrace. Let him rid us of these two brothers whose senses have overpowered them, who are so smitten with what they are seeing that they are wrongfully convicting. Release him, Nidra, release him. Nidra responded to the plea, and the preserver opened his lotus eyes. Seeing Brahma's predicament, he realized at once that all creation was in peril. Vishnu immediately began assuming a new form to combat Madhu and Kaitabha. Brahma gazed as that lustrous mane, that equine avatar that God had become. Hayagriva, the horse-headed one. As the battle raged, Vishnu found himself unable to slay the pair. When one brother would tire out, The other brother would engage. 5,000 years elapsed, and Preserver became completely exhausted. The fathom gnawed, and physical strength would no longer work. These two creatures were having to fight using the games of mind. Laying down his mace, Vishnu folded his hands and addressed them in a tone most honeyed. Bravo! I bow before your skill. You both are truly incomparable, unconquerable. Paying homage to your power, I would like to grant you both a boon. Name anything, and it shall be yours. A boon from you? Madhu and Kaitabha sneered. From a weakling who stands petrified before us, whose blue skin has turned even bluer out of the fright, we are victors, and victors do not beg for boons. They hand them out in charity. Ask for us as a boon. Ask, and you shall have it. Anything. Yes, anything. This was the exact turn of events Vishnu was awaiting. The cue had arrived. His face creased into a disarming smile. Grant me, then, that I may kill you both. There was an utter silence. As his words sunk in, the brothers realized that they have walked into a trap with the eyes wide open. But word had been given, and there was no going back. With death looming large, their instinct for survival kicked in. Looking down, Madhu and Kaitabha saw how the waters were stretching around them, endlessly in every direction, making one last bid to save themselves. They chorused, "You may take our lives, but on one condition. Slay us in a place where there is no water." Hayagriva smiled again. Spreading his arms, he began growing in size, larger and larger, larger and larger, larger and larger, until they could not even see his face, only his form towering above the water like a blue mountain, blending with the blue sky. Placing Madhu and Kaitabha on each side, he beheaded them. Born from their ears, they perished on his thighs. Since Vishnu killed Madhu, he acquired the name as Madhusudan. Looks like the more I create, the more forces shall arise to inherit it. Brahma said, "Keep saving us, Narayana, like you just did." "Perhaps I did not did anything," the preserver replied. "Perhaps Brahmanda saved itself through me." Retrieving the Vedas, Vishnu now removed nether or fat from the corpses of both brothers and instructed Brahma to use it as a lamp on earth. Hence, earth would be called as Medini, and its soil would be considered as unfit for consumption. The remaining portion of the two bodies disintegrated into six each, forming 12 seismic plates of the earth perched atop the lotus. Brahma resumed creation, hoping that his path ahead would be tranquil from here. But his troubles had only just begun. Thank you friends for listening this episode very keenly. For some late working news, this book is also available as Mahagatha, 100 Tales from the Puranas, written by Satyarth Nayak, publisher HarperCollins. Thank you friends.